Now, to close the case for the proposition, it brings me very great pleasure to welcome Worcester College on Royal JCR President, chemistry student, Dani Yates.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your invitation to speak in proposition of tonight's very spicy motion, which, rather than focusing on the abolition of monarchy, really gets to the heart of what the monarchy means to people on the ground like you and me. Before I begin, I would first like to respond to one of the roasts made by the honourable member in opening the opposition. Hannah, you referred to me as a close friend. Don't get ahead of yourself. In my speech today, I'll be making two main points. Firstly, the sheer extent of the monarchy's celebrity status in the minds of ordinary people. And secondly, the agenda and underlying intentions of today's monarchy. So when you sit down in the dentist waiting room or in the chair at the hairdresser's, you probably can't help yourself from picking up one of those glossy celebrity magazines, and you open to the first few pages. Whose gossip is it that features just as highly as the supermodels and pop stars? Well, you guessed it, it's members of the royal family, isn't it? This all started with the late Princess Diana, of course. Before her time, you only really knew about the lives of the royals if you were one of those super fans that kept up with royal photographs. The monarchy was characterised by elusivity and this completely ethereal family that we would never really see. But when Diana came along, she really turned it on its head. She was the bridge from monarchy to celebrity. Charles and Diana's personal affairs became highly publicised, reducing this once untouchable family to mere gossip. This made them relatable. We all wanted to be her. I probably would have wanted to be her. Everyone wanted Diana's hair. You could even buy a knockoff Diana dress. If that's not celebrity, I don't know what is. Then down the line, you've got Harry and Meghan, even before they removed themselves from the monarchy. Pictures in newspapers that scream, "Look at my house, look at my bump, look at my ring." I once actually heard a quote from a journalist who said, "Meghan is wearing a recycled outfit today," and I'm not talking about sustainable fashion. I mean an outfit worn more than once. Can you see how desperate these journalists are to expose anything to satisfy the public's appetite? The media is oversaturated with this crazy culture of literally celebrity worship. So all the average Joe blog sees is this glamorous lifestyle and nothing else. Of course, in no way am I accusing them of doing nothing. I mean, I'm sure it's a very hard life, schmoozing, hosting VIPs, cutting ribbons and going on tours. They've inherited this celebrity lifestyle, and they're now under pressure by the media to keep that lifestyle up. A lifestyle that us mere mortals could only dream of. It's not their fault, though, that they have these lives. But it's us, people in this room, the public, who buy into this fantasy, and that's what makes the monarchy not only a mere celebrity, but the obsession of the Western world. So as we've seen, Diana did away with the classic traits of monarchy, namely its ethereal nature and elusivity. All the monarchy really had left was the traditional royal virtues they supposedly stand for. So then, I move on to my second point, regarding the agenda and underlying intentions of today's royal family, which deviate from monarchy and decline even beyond celebrity, if I may argue. As we all know, the modern monarchy has essentially handed all royal prerogative to the Prime Minister, leaving themselves completely powerless. And as much as I appreciate the opposition's arguments in harping on about how the Queen is head of this, head of that, the head of state has been too powerless to step in to prevent even the most problematic of the government's actions. For example, voter suppression. But clearly not powerless enough to pull a slightly different party trick when special powers known as the Queen's consent were used to lobby for a change in the law allowing concealment of her private wealth from the public, which is truly embarrassing and would, of course, be a cause of public controversy. Clearly, the monarchy can cherry-pick when to intervene in the country it supposedly represents and is supposedly head of. So where do their intentions really lie? In what's best for the country or in their own wealth and social capital? Doesn't sound very virtuous to me. As the previous speaker in the proposition has discussed, you may also be well aware of the accusations made against Prince Andrew. And I am going to go there. Closely linked to his connections with a prolific leader of paedophile rings. An absolute car crash of a BBC interview was aired in 2019, where Prince Andrew recounted details of his relationship with Epstein. That was, without a shadow of a doubt, the worst PR crisis ever for the royal family. Prince Andrew's language was sickening and utterly grotesque, and by no stretch of the imagination did he show any remorse for the victims of Epstein's abuse. This adds serious weight to the allegations surrounding Prince Andrew himself, who later permanently resigned from all his public roles. Surprise, surprise. But there have been no institutional consequences, only social ones. It has basically been reduced to a mere scandal, like a celebrity getting cancelled. Our leaders, Boris Johnson, for example, receive so much scrutiny, but where is that energy when it comes to the monarchy? Of course, that energy isn't there. We don't want to hear it. We're clearly way more interested in the lemon and elderflower cake at the royal wedding, or a picture on Twitter of Meghan dropping the kids off to school. So the monarchy has basically shredded any royal virtues that they even had left, which, can I be honest, declines way beyond the realms of celebrity and deep into the realms of utter disgrace. They continue to drain our resources to enjoy wealth, fame and social capital, funded by £70 million a year from the taxpayer. Are we really getting our money's worth for a system that only fuels toxic public discourse and makes Britain vulnerable to scandals? So on that note, I urge you to vote aye when you leave the chamber this evening, because Diana turned the royal family into that family down the street that you gossip about. And Andrew reduced them to the family you wouldn't even let your kids near. Thank you.